Hello and welcome to Professor Bets. Today's video is 5 NFL free agents that can change your team. We're going to take a look at 5 of the most impactful free agents that I see out on the market. We're going to talk about the circumstances surrounding maybe their last team, why they're on the market. We're going to discuss certain options that these players and the teams who pick them can have. And lastly, we're going to talk about kind of where we think they're going. I'm going to predict a place for each one of them. For one, I may give a few suggestions. Maybe I'll just give one, but I have a guess for each one of these teams. If you enjoy NBA betting, I got to go ahead and implore that you check out our NBA betting that happens Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. See, they're only put in shorts. That means they're 15 seconds long. I give you 3 of my favorite picks for each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. They come out the night before. Use them for anything you would like. In order to get that, though, you're going to have to subscribe to my YouTube page. Now, that is just Professor Bets. It's going to be down there at the bottom of the screen. I implore each one of you guys to hit the subscribe button, to hit the like button, because you're going to enjoy this video. We're going to have a great time going through these, and there's so much more like this coming out. There's so much promise in Professor Bets, so many new things we're working on. You just can't miss it. You have to subscribe. You have to be a part of it, and we're going to have a great ride. So let's go ahead and begin with 5 NFL free agents that can change your team. The 5th best free agent on my board is the tackle coming out of the Saints organization. A great place to get tackles from, Tyron Armstead. Tyron Armstead has been in the league for 9 years. He's bringing elite gameplay and experience to any locker room that he goes to. Anybody that decides to pay Tyron Armstead is going to get a veteran presence and upgrade that offensive line group in meetings, on the field, in practice. He helps a team everywhere. The one concern I do have about Tyron Armstead is a little bit of the age, the wear and tear, as well as the injuries. Having some games missed throughout the last few years gives me slight concern. But there will be many teams going after Tyron Armstead. I suspect he is going to pull in a lump sum that the Saints just were not able to give him. They're in cap hell right now, so it's a foregone conclusion. They were not really going to be able to keep Tyron Armstead. With that being said, I look to a place that doesn't have a lot of holes so they can spend a little bit more money on an offensive lineman that could be on a competing team. Tyron Armstead was on the Saints for many years, so it leads me to believe that he enjoys the winning culture. I'm going to guess the Cincinnati Bengals find that experience and that championship mentality. I think they see that as a must-have for their locker room. We already know they need tackles. They passed up Penei Sewell for Jamar Chase this year. It turned out great, but guess what? We still got to address that offensive line. Most sacked quarterback. Joe Burrow can't be your savior if he's knocked out every single year. No one absorbs that kind of punishment. Moving on to our 4th pick, I have J.C. Jackson of the Patriots, and that's a very interesting talking point because I believe he could be the 2nd or the 1st because I'm not exactly sure where to rank him in the cornerbacks of today's games. A lot of interceptions, but it's in the Belichick system here. He's unhappy with his current contract. He wants to get a deal done. I hear looking for about $20 million a year. I think that's widely reported. Here's the thing. Belichick doesn't bend on money issues like this, and $20 million is quite a bit for a guy that seems to be kind of making a little bit noise. It's not exactly the Belichick way. There seems to be some teams that always kind of grab up those Belichick guys. For right now, I think that the Lions and the Jets are 2 teams that could really look to trade for J.C. Jackson. But I will say my favorite pick overall is the Colts. Not a lot of draft picks, so they're not going to be able to get better at cornerback through the draft, at least not immediately. So I think they look to be a big name in free agency. And I think they take a chance on J.C. Jackson. I think it's a great chance. I think many teams are not going to try hard enough to get J.C. Jackson this offseason. Number 3 on my list is Marcus Mariota. A quarterback had to make this list as quarterbacks are too valued in today's game. So when taking a look at Marcus Mariota, what do we get? Because he didn't even start last year playing backup to Ryan Tannehill. We all know how that flamed out in the postseason. But now Marcus Mariota is considered to be one of the first in lines for one of the starting jobs that'll come open in this league. And there are a few suitors that need quarterbacks and are pretty desperate, if I would believe the reports coming out saying that the Washington Commanders are calling each team that has a quarterback that may or may not be on the market. They're checking everywhere, high and low. I think one of those teams, whether it be the Washington Commanders or the Carolina Panthers that I think are in very same boats of really trying to at least figure out a good short-term situation in the quarterback room. Out of these two, I have to lean that the Washington Commanders are the right fit for Marcus Mariota. The great defense, it's going to allow Marcus Mariota to kind of game manage as he does. That kind of fits the scheme there. I think that's the next viable move for the Washington Commanders. Moving from the quarterback to the one that's paid to sack the quarterback, we have Chandler Jones at number 2, a pass rusher. I would call him a sack master. If you get multiple double-digit sack seasons, that should qualify you for the title sack master. Now, previously of the Cardinals, we have some injury concerns, maybe some bicep tears that seem to kind of be lingering just a little bit here. With 8 years of proof and experience in the league that he is the real deal, there are going to be a lot of teams looking for him. I'm not exactly how many teams are going to be willing to pay Chandler Jones exactly what he's looking for. Add that in with a slight injury concern, but the need for pass rushers against every single team, regardless, you can never have too many pass rushers. It's hard to kind of place Chandler Jones in a great area. With the Bengals recently tasting success in a way they haven't tasted in so many years, I expect them to make a little bit of a splash in free agency. They're not known for doing so, but this year may just change all of that. Chandler Jones would be a great add to a team with one great pass rusher. That, along with some fixed O-line issues, I see the Cincinnati Bengals coming back bigger and better than ever this year. Finally, one man tops the list, and who knows exactly what the future is? I do. The reason being is that Davante Adams is a top 3 wide receiver. You may lean D-Hop. I think right now you're going to have to give the title to Cooper Kupp, but these 3 are in a class all of their own, and money doesn't really pay the worth that these guys are to any team, to any quarterback in the league. Sadly, I don't think we see too much parity, too much interest happen. He might already be franchise tagged as of the time that I'm doing this video, just because the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers just came to a deal this morning worth $200 million for 4 years. I think the next step to that, I don't think Aaron Rodgers would have signed knowing that the Packers were not going to give Davante Adams the tag. And why wouldn't they? They don't have a great wide receiver too, not a great tight end room. Really, they need the weapons for Aaron Rodgers, and it doesn't really come cheaper at this. Right now, I think that the franchise tag for Davante Adams is going to be about 1 year, $19 million. As that's being said, they're also going to have to work out a deal worth $30 million a year, because that's exactly what Davante Adams is worth and is going to ask for from the market. Whether he stays there long term, I could not give you that answer, because Green Bay is notoriously cheap, but I believe he signs a franchise tag today, if not in the near future. Thank you so much for watching Professor Bets. I had a great time with this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit that subscribe button. The like button is right next to that. If you enjoyed this video specifically, let me know. That's how I'm going to keep track of what people are interested in. The NFL offseason is upon us. There's still so much news to cover. I'm going to continue to do that along the way. Like I said, though, that subscribe button, that's going to get you to all my videos. So go ahead and hit that. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and look out for the ones that are coming out to cover the offseason.